Hello everyone and welcome to Baking with Akis. The recipes we are making today are loaded with rich flavors and tradition. First, we have a festive Greek sweetbread filled with chestnut and glazed with melted white chocolate. Then we will switch to a light sweet treat, olive oil cookies, a flavorful recipe that highlights one of Greece's most beloved ingredients. Let's get baking. We are starting with something special, a Greek sweetbread with white chocolate and chestnuts. This fluffy tsoureki combines the sweetness of white chocolate with the earthy flavor of chestnuts, creating a festive treat that will satisfy all tastes. Let's see our ingredients. Greek sweetbread with white chocolate and chestnuts. Ingredients: 60 grams water, 18 grams dry yeast, 500 grams hard flour, 130 grams granulated sugar, 7 grams mahlab powder, 2 grams mastic powder, 5 grams cardamom powder, the zest of 1 orange, 2 eggs, 100 grams whole milk, 100 grams butter at room temperature, 1 pinch of salt, 500 grams chestnut puree, 1 egg yolk diluted in 1 tablespoon water, 340 grams white chocolate, 30 grams dark chocolate. The recipe is quite impressive and probably you will think that it's quite difficult, but trust me, I will show you the best way to do it and it will be quite easy. Now, everything will be prepared in the mixer with a hook attachment. Now, the first thing we have to do is to wake up our yeast. I have dry yeast here. I will add it into the bowl and I will add as well a little bit warm water. Warm, not hot, because if the water is hot, it will burn the yeast and we don't want that. Now, mix with a little bit of flour, just 2 tablespoons should be enough, because we need to give some food to the yeast to wake up and start eating. This is actually somehow a sourdough, as you can see, and we have to leave it as it is for about 10 minutes, okay? 10 to 15 minutes until the yeast wakes up completely and become nice. Now, after 10 minutes, we will add all the other ingredients. We have strong flour here, the rest of it, because we already used 2 tablespoons to our sourdough, the sugar, the milk, 2 medium eggs. It's very important to use medium eggs because if you use large eggs, probably the dough will become more runny and we don't want that. And the second one is in. A little bit of butter. A pinch of salt. And now it's time for the spices. Those are the 4 ingredients we're using to have this lovely characteristic taste of tsoureki. We have cardamom, we have mahlab, we have mastic, and we have orange zest. Those are the ingredients we have to use to make a proper tsoureki. Now, if you cannot find something of them, just don't use it and carry on the recipe. But if you want to taste a real tsoureki, you have to use all of them. Now, here is the cardamom, mahlab, and mastic. This is it. Now, if we are using strong flour, we need to overbeat the mixer to become so elastic and so nice that nobody can resist. For how long do you think that we are going to beat this mixer? You are correct, for 10 to 15 minutes. Now, be patient, in 15 minutes we will be ready. And the tsoureki dough is ready. As you can see, It is perfect. We want to see something like that. It is so elastic, and that means that the gluten did its job. Look at this. Lovely, huh? It is. And it smells deliciousness. Now, I need a bowl, a little bit of oil, just a little bit, and the dough goes in. Now, we need to let the yeast rise. For how long? It depends from the environment. If your house is hot, then probably in 1 to 1.5 hours will be ready. Now, after 1 to 1.5 hours, it will become like this one. Can you see? Perfect. Now, this is exactly what we want to see. A nice, proof, full of air dough that we are going to use. With this dough, we can have up to 2 tsoureki. So, my dough is ready, and it's time to carry on. I will cut in half my dough. And every piece, again, I will cut in half. Easy? Easy. Now, I will roll out my first dough, like this one, and I will roll out the second dough, like this one. Take your rolling pin and stay here. Just press a little bit the dough, because we want to stuff every single dough. That's why we have to do it this way. Now, here I have some chestnut puree you can find in any shop, in any supermarket, and I will just put my stuffing in the middle of the dough, this way. Easy? It's easy. Of course, if you want to prepare your own chestnut puree, you can. And I have a recipe in my website if you want to check it. And now it's time to close my dough this way. Right? Nothing difficult. It is very easy. Even if you are not a pastry expert, you can deliver. Trust me. Just make sure that you will close the edges very well. And when you close the edges, just take your hands and roll a little bit to spread the stuffing inside. And the first one is ready. I will carry on the same process with all my dough. And I'm almost there. It's almost ready. And I will show you the easy way to make tsoureki, because there are too many techniques. I think this one is the easiest one. Now, actually, I will create a cross this way with 2 dough strips this way, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And as you can see, it is perfectly shaped. Now, point the edge and tuck it this way. Perfect. So my first tsoureki is ready. And I will do the same process for the other one. Again, one cross and flap, 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 and voila, point the edge, tuck it underneath, and the second tsoureki is ready. What do you think? Perfect. Perfect and easy. Now, we have to let it rise again, not for long, just for half hour. And after half an hour, the Tsoureki will look like this one. What do you think? Sexy. So, I will cover this tray, put it on side. And now it's time to bake them. But before we bake them, we have to make sure that we will give a nice color to Tsoureki inside the oven. So here I have an egg wash. I will brush my Tsoureki. They look like a work of art. Look at that. So pretty, so nice. And I already know that they will smell amazing during baking. And it's time to bake them. My oven is preheated to 150 degrees Celsius set to fan. Put the tray at the highest level and bake for at least 45 minutes to 1 hour, okay? When they are look golden, sexy and nice, take them out, let them cool, and then we will glaze them with white chocolate. And look at this. This is perfection. This is amazing. This is something so unique. Of course, if you want to eat it as it is, you can, because it's full of taste, but if you want to make it more impressive, we can do it just by using some chocolate. Now, I have some melted white chocolate here, and I will pour some on the top of Tsoureki. Lovely. And don't be stingy. If you do it well. Pour plenty of chocolate and then with a brush and make sure it will go everywhere. This way. Lovely. Nice. I told you it is a piece of art, and at this moment I feel like an artist. I am painting. Look at that. Absolutely amazing. And to stand out, I will use a little bit of dark chocolate. What do you think? Eh? Just a drizzle will work fine. And this is it. This is my Tsoureki. What do you think? Absolutely amazing. Nice. Now I want to cut a nice piece to show you how it looks on the inside. You back and you stay here. And look at that. Lovely. Can you see all these layers of chestnut puree? This bread is so moist, full of tastes, we have the chestnut, we have the mahlab, we have the cardamom, we have the orange. We have everything in a bite. Just taste it, and I swear to you, you never tried something like this before in your life. Next, we will make an original Greek-style delight, olive oil cookies. Oh my God, I love this recipe because these cookies are simple, aromatic and made with the pure goodness of olive oil. Perfect for a quick snack or to share with friends over coffee. They are a timeless classic you will love. So let's take a look at the ingredients. Greek olive oil and sesame cookies. Ingredients: 100 grams olive oil, 60 grams brandy, 100 grams granulated sugar, the zest of one orange, 60 grams orange juice, 370 grams all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon cinnamon, half a teaspoon baking powder, 1/4 of a teaspoon baking soda, 1 pinch of salt, 70 grams sesame seeds. Let's begin. If you're watching some of my recipes, probably you will understand that Greek cuisine is the simplest cuisine all over the world because everything is quite simple and quite perfect, and all recipes combine so many flavors. In this recipe, you will keep wondering how is possible this recipe to be so tasty. Now, I need a bowl and I will add my orange juice, my cognac or any alcohol you like, olive oil, baking soda, and the zest of one orange. Perfect. First, I will mix those ingredients because I want baking soda to react with orange juice. And then we will add all the other ingredients, which are sugar, flour, baking powder, cinnamon powder, and a good pinch of salt. Pop! Ready. Now it's time to mix everything. Just take a wooden spoon. You don't even need a mixer. And in few seconds, the dough for the cookies will be ready. This is it. Easy cheesy. It's not a healthy recipe because we have calories, but it is healthier than other cookies, okay? Now my dough is ready. The spoon goes away. Everything else go away. And it's time to shape the cookies. Here I have my tray. I will put that on the side. And the only thing that I need is some sesame seeds. So, this is how we will do it. First, I will knead my dough a little bit more with my hands to make sure that it will absorb all the excess flour. And with this dough, you can have up to 22 cookies. Now, take some of your dough, here, shape a ball, maybe a little bit less, yes. Yeah, here I have my sesame seeds. I will put the ball inside. I will take my finger. I will make a hole. Turn from the other side again. The hole, and the first cookie is ready. Easy? Cheesy. I will carry on the same process until my dough is finished. And here I have the last two again. I'm almost done. Easy. Perfect. Maybe one more. The whole. And again. And voila! It's time to bake those lovely cookies. My oven is preheated to 180 degrees Celsius. And I will bake them for about 20 to 25 minutes. And my cookies are ready. This is the perfect snack for the kids at school and the perfect snack for you at work. Guilt-free, you can taste as many as you like and they are full of flavor. And that's it for today's episode. We started with a decadent Greek sweetbread with white chocolate and chestnuts, and we've wrapped things up with the light and delicious olive oil cookies. Two recipes full of flavor, tradition and joy. Try them out at home and make sure to share them with your loved ones. See you next time and happy baking!